Many people think attacks only come through rituals, spells, or odd objects. But what if I told you that a place you call private, the toilet, can become a doorway for dark forces into your life? Those who work with hidden arts know that water is more than a way to clean the body. Water is also a spiritual conductor. If you ignore this fact, the moments when you are most exposed can become the very moments through which curses enter your life. When we learn to look not only with our eyes but with inner awareness, the ordinary toilet begins to appear as something more than a simple necessity. It is a place where the element of water always moves. In many traditions, water is seen as a strong spiritual medium. It carries messages, it moves energy, it reflects moods and links places. For this reason, people who work in dark craft use it as a subtle doorway. Where water moves, energy moves. Where water collects, spiritual forces can rest. And where water is left unprotected, it can be used to direct negative intentions straight into the lives of those who do not suspect. Think for a moment about your own habits. How often do you go to the toilet without any awareness? Most people hurry in and hurry out, rarely paying attention. In that hurry, the door is left open. It is in those unnoticed moments that negative energies slip in most easily. The toilet connects your private home to large water systems beneath the ground, to pipes and channels that link many places together. This unseen web of water becomes, to those who practice witchcraft, a spiritual network. By throwing intentions or negative energy into these channels, they are not merely speaking words into the air. They are sending them into a current that flows into your space. Water also stands for cleansing. The strange irony is this: the very place where we clean ourselves can, if not guarded, become the place where darkness is invited. People who exploit this paradox do so because most would never suspect such an ordinary place as a point of attack. But it is often the unnoticed, the underestimated, and the overlooked where danger hides. They pick the toilet not only for its symbolism but for its practicality. It links to your most vulnerable moments. It is tied to your most private acts. And it connects to hidden systems that reach beyond your house. The invisible realm is not separate from the visible. Just as electricity travels invisibly through wires, spiritual currents move invisibly through water. When someone with harmful intent understands this, they can direct those currents with care. That is why many who face strange disturbances at home find that these disturbances are strongest where water moves: sinks, baths, drains, and most often toilets. It is not accidental. It is knowledge put to work. The toilet, then, is not only a physical opening to drainage and disposal. Misunderstood, it becomes a spiritual gateway left unguarded. Unless you begin to regard it with awareness and treat it as such, you will keep asking how invisible forces entered your life. There is something many do not understand about their bodies. Every part of you carries a spiritual signature. Just as fingerprints mark you physically, your fluids and waste hold an imprint of your being. For centuries, healers and those who work with magic have known the value of blood, hair, nails, and waste. These are not merely matter. They carry identity, memory, and energy. When these things are discarded without care, they can be used as a direct link back to you. Those who practice dark arts use this truth. They know the toilet is the place where you release not only physical waste but also spiritual traces of yourself. Each flush sends away pieces of your essence. To the ordinary mind, this is hygiene. To a person trained in hidden practices, it is an opportunity. They may retrieve, connect to, or channel energy through what you have discarded. By focusing intent on the flow of what you discard, they weave a spiritual thread that ties their work directly to your life. Consider this carefully. Waste is something most people treat with disgust. They want it gone, unseen, forgotten. Yet in the unseen realm, what you ignore often becomes most dangerous. Those who work with hidden forces exploit this blindness. They know that when you throw something away without thought, you also give up responsibility for it. They collect what you neglect and turn it against you. That is why in many cultures people took care not to let hair, nails, or bodily waste fall into another's hands. Even ashes from burned food or cloth were guarded. There was wisdom here. Anything tied to the body could be made into a tool for blessing or for harm. The modern toilet has simply become the new place where this old danger can appear. It is where your essence flows out every day, unnoticed and unprotected. Picture a thread of energy attached to everything you flush. Imagine someone pulling that thread with bad intent. Little by little, without your notice, you feel drained, unsettled, or followed by problems. This is not chance. It is the result of thoughtless behavior in a world where everything connects. Those who use toilets as tools of attack know it gives them ongoing access because disposal never ends. What remains for us is not fear, but awareness. To know that what leaves your body holds your essence is to remember that even in moments of release, there must be care. Nothing is ever purely physical. The unseen attaches to the seen. If you do not guard it, somebody else will use it. When you enter a toilet, what do you notice first? For most, it is the smell, the level of clean, or the feel of the room. And without thinking, that first perception begins to shape your mood. A clean, fresh space makes you feel lighter, safer, and calm. A dirty, neglected toilet brings discomfort, heaviness, and unease. What you sense is not only hygiene, but energy. A toilet that is not kept clean becomes more than unpleasant. It becomes an invitation to negative forces. Those who understand these dynamics know that filth attracts low spirits in the same way decay draws insects. A neglected bathroom becomes a place not only for bacteria, but also for spiritual pollution. Every stain, every smell, every sign of neglect makes a vibration that matches lower energies. These are the spaces that some exploit to strengthen their work. They do not always need to come into your home in person when they can allow energy to build in these corners until it begins to press down on you. Think of your home as a mirror of your inner life. Every room holds energy, and the places you ignore usually store the heaviest energy. The toilet, being a place of disposal, is already a space of release. If you add neglect, that space becomes doubly open. Those who know how to work with energy can place curses or negative intent into such an environment, trusting that dirt and disorder will hold onto it, amplify it, and spread it through the house. Some people wonder why heaviness hangs in their homes, why arguments break out, why sickness lingers, or why peace seems absent. Often the answer is as simple as checking the state of their bathroom. When the physical place is uncared for, the spiritual place weakens. When the spiritual place weakens, the door opens. It is like leaving rotten food on the table. At first you do not see the flies, but soon they gather. In the same way, leaving the toilet unclean is a silent invitation. Come live here, use this space. The truth is that cleansing is more than hygiene. It is about energy. The act of keeping your toilet fresh and in order is already a spiritual practice. It declares that no dark presence is welcome and that stagnant energy will not be allowed to remain. those who rely on people's carelessness, count on them being too busy or too indifferent to notice the state of their space. But the moment you pay attention and restore order, their work loses strength. Water has long been seen as a mirror of the unseen. When you look into still water, you see a reflection. What you might not know is that water also mirrors energy. It is not just your face that the surface can show, but your vibration, your aura, your inner mood. In many traditions, water was used for seeing, for divination, and for spiritual link. Those who work with harmful intent know this and use stagnant water, toilets, buckets, pans, as channels for their projections. They understand that water is both a mirror and a doorway. Through it they can send projections toward a target. That is why you must not treat water as merely physical. You must be mindful about what you leave near standing water, what you wash away without attention, and how you care for places where water pools. Simple habits, covering bowls, cleaning drains, burning cleansing herbs, or using blessed water where your tradition allows, can help break the connection. Routine care prevents energy from pooling and stops a stream of harm before it begins to move into your space. Remember also that your own actions matter as much as what others do. When you approach private moments with respect and mindfulness, you remove easy openings. Speak words of protection if that fits your belief. Pour out water with intention, or take moments of silent attention. Guard your hair, your nails, and anything that carries a piece of you until you can dispose of it safely. Teach children the same care so they do not grow up leaving pieces of themselves unguarded. In these small things, you reclaim control. You turn the ordinary into a place of protection rather than of vulnerability. Above all, choose awareness over panic. The world is woven with seen and unseen threads. When you act with care, clean your spaces, and honor the power of water, you close the doors others might try to open. The toilet then becomes what it should be, a private place of necessary release, not a channel for harm. Keep it clean, keep it guarded, and let your home reflect the safety and peace you intend to live in. They can widen their reach. The toilet in particular becomes a handy tool for them because it is a place where water stays still even for a short moment before it flows away. That stillness is what they need. It works like a screen onto which they can cast their intentions. They use it to send watching spirits, energies that watch, observe, and report back. Many people have felt that strange sense of being watched when no one is near. That is not just imagination. It is often the outcome of those projections. Water lets them bridge the gap and link their will to your space without ever stepping foot inside your house. This is also a reason why many people feel uneasy in the toilet even when it is clean. The feeling of being observed, the sudden chill, or the uncomfortable quiet is not caused by the room itself, but by what has been attached to it. Those who practice dark work know that people enter this space in moments of weakness, with little defense and little thought. By sending projections through water, they position themselves right there, watching and weakening your guard further. What makes this method strong is the ignorance of the ones targeted. If you see a mirror, you are careful about what you show in front of it. If you see a camera, you understand you are being watched. But when people look at water in a toilet bowl, they consider it only as a tool, nothing more. So they expose themselves without awareness. They do not see that the reflection is not only theirs, it can also be a doorway for something else to look back at them. But here lies a deeper truth. Just as water can be used to send negativity, it can also be used to send it away. The same element that is used to exploit can become your shield if you treat it with mindfulness. How you handle water, the words you speak near it, the respect you give it, these things matter. Water does not just mirror the physical, it mirrors intention. And when your intention is clear, pure, and strong, water answers in kind. So whenever you meet still water in your home, especially in the toilet, remember that it is more than a surface. It is a mirror. And like all mirrors, it shows what is placed before it, whether light or dark. There is a reason many spiritual attacks are done in the quiet hours of the night. Nighttime carries a special energy. It is when most people sleep, when the mind rests, when the body repairs, and when awareness is lowest. In those hours, your defenses are naturally weaker because your attention has turned inward. This is why those who work with dark arts prefer to send their work at night, and why the toilet becomes a sensitive place then. Think of the times you wake half asleep and walk to the toilet in the dark. Your mind is not sharp, your body is slow. You are in a state between dreaming and waking. That in-between state is strong, but it is also risky. It is a doorway where the line between the physical and the spiritual becomes thinner. They know this and they use it. They project their curses, their watching spirits, or their disturbances into that moment, knowing you will not have the same strength of awareness to resist. Many people have told of strange happenings when visiting the toilet at night. Shadows that move, whispers in the silence, sudden chills down the spine, or a heavy sense of fear. These are not just accidents of the imagination. They are the effects of spiritual intrusions aimed at times when you are least guarded. The toilet, already a gateway through water, becomes even more sensitive in those hours because the stillness of the night amplifies every energy that comes into it. It is also at night that the unconscious mind is more open. Just as dreams carry messages and symbols, your mind is more suggestible when you are drowsy. Any dark projection sent through the toilet during that time has a higher chance of slipping into your subconscious. Once something takes root there, it begins to shape your waking life, affecting your moods, your thoughts, and even your choices. This is why some people wake in the morning already heavy, anxious, or drained, even though nothing visible happened. The attack did not come during the day when they were alert. It came at night in those vulnerable toilet visits when their guard was down. Those who practice this work depend on routine. They know you will go to the toilet almost every night at some point. Because the habit is predictable, it becomes the perfect chance to time their work. They do not need to wait for random moments. They know your patterns, and they strike when you least expect it. So when you think of the night, do not think only of sleep. Think of it also as a time when quiet vigilance matters. The darkness outside is not the only dark. It is also the time when hidden forces move with more freedom. Unless you are aware, the simple act of walking half awake into your toilet could become the easiest doorway for an attack. Awareness without action is not enough. It is not enough to only notice that the toilet can be used as a spiritual gateway. You must also learn how to guard it. The same place that can draw in darkness can also be made into a space of purity and renewal if you choose to treat it with care and intention. Protection does not always come from grand rituals or complex methods. Often it is the simple, steady actions done with awareness that form the strongest shield. The first step is basic cleanliness. Never forget the power of order and hygiene. When a toilet is well kept and treated with respect, it no longer hums with the lower vibrations that those who work in darkness depend on. Dirt and neglect invite stagnation. Cleanliness invites flow. Flow is life, and life itself pushes away darkness. This is why many spiritual traditions put strong emphasis on keeping the environment pure. It is not only about comfort for the body, but also about safety for the spirit. Beyond cleanliness, there is also the force of spoken word. Water is a carrier of energy, and words, especially when spoken with focus, leave their mark upon it. When you enter the toilet, you can choose to speak words of protection, words of clarity, words of light. These words move through the water, creating a vibration that no curse can easily settle on. They may try to project darkness, but water charged with conscious intent will reflect it away. Even a simple prayer whispered sincerely before flushing makes a barrier far stronger than neglect. Another kind of protection is awareness of disposal. Remember that waste carries your essence. Treat it with care. Do not dispose of it carelessly as if it means nothing. Instead, see the flushing as a symbolic release not only of physical matter, but also of burdens, worries, and negative threads. In this way, you are not just throwing things away, but transforming them. You declare that nothing leaving your body can be turned against you because it has already been released with intention. There are also subtle habits you can bring into this space. A small bowl of salt placed quietly can absorb negativity. A drop of oil or a few herbs in the water can change the vibration. Even light, whether a candle, a lamp, or simply keeping the room well lit, has the power to drive away shadows. These acts are simple, but when done regularly, they weaken any attempt to use the toilet as a tool of attack. The deeper truth is that protection comes not only from what you do in a place, but how you live overall. If your mind is clear, your heart is firm, and your presence is awake, then even the most open spaces in your home will be guarded. Those who work in darkness thrive on ignorance, carelessness, and neglect. The moment you step into awareness and act with intention, their work loses power. Keep your spaces tidy, speak with purpose, and move with calm attention. Do this often, and you change the energy around you. Small actions repeated build a strong shield. Treat your home like a living place that responds to attention. When you honor the water in your toilet, when you respect the quiet places and fill them with light and meaning, the same things that once invited harm will now invite healing. Turn routines into rituals and moments of thoughtlessness into moments of mindful practice. Remember that strength often looks ordinary: a clean bowl, a whispered prayer, a light left on, a pinch of salt. These are small things, yet together they create a field of protection that is steady and real. They teach your space that it is not a place to be used as a doorway for harm. They teach the water to reflect light instead of serving as a screen for dark will. Do not let fear lead you to panic. Use awareness to act. Fear without action creates weakness. Action without intention is empty. Join clear intention with simple acts, and you will reclaim those spaces. Where you once felt watched, you can now feel safe. Where you once felt chilled or anxious, you can now feel steady and calm. Finally, know that protection is also built in how you live day to day. Keep good company. Keep regular prayers or reminders of your strength. Walk in ways that show you honor your life and your body. A person who treats their life with care creates a field that is harder to crack. Witches and those who use dark methods look for easy targets. Do not be one. Make your home a place of quiet power. Let the toilet be a simple room that supports your life, not a place that weakens it. With small, regular actions taken with attention, with words spoken clearly, and with a steady heart, you will change the story of that space. The very thing that once opened a doorway can, with mindful care, become your shield.